Eric, how you doing, Eric?
I'm good, Matthew. How's it going today?
Good, thank you so much. I think you just found out you're going to be on the show like 2 hours ago.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I happened to have my guitar in town and said, you know what, why not swing on by? Be fun to do.
So Eric Winders, and you're with Whiskey West?
Whiskey West is the crew I mostly play with. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so let's get right into it. Actually, we have also Liam. How you doing, Liam?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. What's your last name?
Gillespie.
Gillespie. Okay, that's easy. For some reason, when I look at it, it looks difficult.
Like
but
Dizzy
it's not.
Gillespie.
Gillespie, yeah. So we're going to talk to Liam as well, but let's start off with Eric. Eric, how long have you been making music?
Well, I guess, I started as a 9-year-old kid forced to play the violin.
Are you serious? Wait, because you're I've only been doing this show for 7 weeks, and you're the third musician that says I was forced to play violin when I was a little kid.
It was not only painful for me, I can imagine what it was like for those in my household. Maybe that's why I didn't practice that much, I don't know, or at all, because it was squeaky for sure.
Yeah.
But I did that for quite a few years, and I thank my father for kicking my butt to at least follow through on it, and eventually I picked up the guitar because as a 14-year-old, carrying the violin to orchestra is not as cool as being in a band.
No, I did trumpet, but guitar is definitely the cool one.
Yeah. I can understand that.
Are you from Santa Cruz, or where are you from?
I am not. I'm actually originally from upstate New York,
Okay.
The city of Schenectady.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
it's
so
funny.
a long way from home.
When people think of New York, they think of the hustle bustle, like Manhattan and stuff. But most of New York is like this beautiful woodsy area.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's got, that parts of New York have lower population densities than parts of Montana. It just is, there's a lot of parks, the Adirondack Park, and a lot of the cities are pretty, are these post-industrial Rust Belt cities, so they're kind of grimy, kind of gritty. So a lot of crime, but also these beautiful old cities with a lot of magic in them, and it's you can find it there for sure.
I lived in Brooklyn for a couple of years, in 96, but we used to spend a lot of time upstate. And yeah, it's a beautiful town. So how did you get into this world of okay, now I'm going to make being in a musician a career?
Well, I guess I would say it is a part-time career.
Yeah.
Because I do have other income.
Because you need to support yourself.
I need to support myself, and I work as a grant writer for a nonprofit here in town.
Oh my goodness! I've been working with grants recently. I do not envy you. That is such a hard thing to do.
Well, we can talk more about that later.
Yeah,
I can pass along some tips and tools.
Yeah. No, actually, I can't I just can't do it. No, I can help people with the numbers of what they need, but I cannot physically write it. It's a skill.
Yeah, there's a lot of. It reminds me a little bit of arranging music because there's a lot of parts. It's sort of like a puzzle, and fitting all those parts together is sort of like arranging a song. So
Wow,
I
love that.
It's kind of similar in that way.
Okay, well let's hear some of that puzzle. Go out. Can you play us a song?
Yeah, I actually, since our theme kind of today is the struggle of being a musician.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write a song. I'm gonna play a song about the struggle of being a musician in New York City.
Ooh, okay.
I grew up in I know some folks probably out there know the band Yarn.
Okay.
And they're originally from Brooklyn area. Now they're from the southeast. But a friend of mine's the lead singer, and I was talking to him one day, and he said, we had to all move out of Brooklyn because we couldn't afford it anymore, and they're based now more in the southeast. And
I've heard that story before.
Yeah, I think it's a common thread there. And so I wrote this inspired by my buddy Blake, and we grew up together in Schenectady.
Nice.
And,
What's the song called?
It's called East River Blues.
East River Blues.
Let me take this off. It'll probably clang a little bit. Does that sound alright?
Sounds great.
We'll stumble over that Brooklyn bridge with the day just taking shape. Cast off junk of life flows right on by. Ground is blurry, then feet on shore. River beckons from the dead. All I gotta do is get back home alive. I'll drop too deep in the village. In that tenement of yours I was made to play a fool. Pray the Lord, get me off this island of wicked jewels. Looking to dodge them East River Blues. My subway don't take me any closer to the dirty truth. Holding court and telling lies for weeks. Took a chance on these battered feet with a ball of bag songs, and this guitar might just get me through the streets. On the square I feel that sunshine, wishing I'd see you step on through that gate. Another tightrope walker dreaming of bigger shoes, looking to dodge them East River blues. Everybody got a chance to break what they don't lose. Never forget that joint on St. Mark's. Dawn into, right into a queen. What's the chance the devil comes around and use? Dodge the East River blues. Just looking to dodge the East River blues.
Nice. Good. You're listening to KSQD Santa Cruz 90.7 FM, and that was Eric Winders. And Eric, so you wrote that how long ago?
Oh, that's probably a 5 or 6 year old song, yeah.
So sometimes, is there like a song you write 5 years ago compared to a song that you wrote maybe like a few months ago? Is there like, do you get excited about the new stuff, or is there always songs like that, like I enjoy playing that so much, I'm gonna play that until I'm 210?
There's definitely songs like that, and I also feel like there's songs that I really like of mine.
Yeah.
It sounds a little, ego's a big drug, like of my own.
Yeah.
But there's songs like that I love playing, but also my nature is to constantly be tweaking things a little bit, so each time it's slightly different. It's a little different, yeah. Whether it's the a solo or the melody or something, in there. The structure stays the same, but just kind of tweaking it, and that helps keep it continually fresh and changing.
That is true, because sometimes you see bands that have been around for 20, 30, 40 years, and sometimes when they're playing the same song, and I know there's so my favorite band is Depeche Mode from the 80s, and they've been playing for 30 years, and sometimes I don't feel the energy as much as 1980 version of that song live compared to 2019 sometimes. So it is good, like you said, to change it up a little bit just for your own sake.
Yeah, I think I remember Paul Simon did the concert in Central Park with Simon and Garfunkel, right? And then he did his own concert in Central Park in the early '90s. And I remember he played Bridge Over Troubled Water completely differently from the original in that concert. I remember my dad being so mad about it because it's one of his favorite songs. But it was almost like this jingly up-tempo, honky tonk kind of rhythm and vibe to it. And I was like, man, that's the way to do it.
Don't you like that?
I love it. Yeah.
My wife is the same way. Like when she hears a live song, it's like, but it's not like the record. But it's like, no, I like that you have this new version that you can listen to.
Yeah, it's inspiring lyrics and similar melody and probably the same chords, just done enough that you can just, keeps your interest going.
Exactly. Okay, Liam, we haven't heard from you yet. How do you even sound? How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Good, Liam.
Yeah.
Okay, so I heard, because you told me, that you work at the Paradox?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have like a residency there?
I can't really hear myself in the microphone.
Well, you sound good.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, there. But so you play at the Paradox. When nights do you play?
Well, I have a residency there. I usually play on Friday and Saturday nights about 4 times a month.
Okay.
And it's a nice little steady gig.
So if somebody asks you what kind of music do you play, what do you say?
Oh,
isn't that
pretty fast.
Isn't that an annoying question?
Yeah.
They just asked Liam that, and we were talking about that.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
I do a lot of covers
Yeah.
when I play there, and
But
it ranges from like the Beatles to Tom Petty to John Mayer, Coldplay. And something like once in a while I'll get requests from people, and sometimes I know it, and sometimes I don't. So, yeah.
That must be tough
it's a
when people
blast
ask
playing
you for a request. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
play the song, like, do you try it sometimes?
If I know it.
If I know it, yeah.
Sometimes I'll just like maybe look it up on my phone if I know the song, and I'll try my best to please the person.
You play a lot with Ryan Green as
Yeah.
well, huh? Yeah.
Shout out to Ryan Green, who can't be here.
Has like a tonsil something problem today.
Strep throat.
Strep throat. So he says in a quote unquote. No, no, he is.
We're putting him on blast right now.
Yeah, exactly. No, he'll be fine soon. But you guys play. It's like a lot of harmonies between you two.
Yeah, we play a lot downtown. We do sort of like an Everly Brothers style 2-part harmony to all the Beatles classics, and most people seem to dig it.
Oh, no, totally. Yeah.
And so.
Well, could we hear a little example of you giving us a song?
Yeah, I can do an original song.
Sure.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it.
This was the first song I wrote, and
When you were like 4.
no,
No.
I wrote this probably about 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
But yeah,
What's it called?
it's called "Love Song for You."
A song for you.
In the key of G. It's taken so long. Tell me what's wrong. I'll sing a song of love for you. Don't be afraid, you're not alone. I'll sing a song of love for you. How many times must we say I don't know? Let's not carry on this way. I don't have too much to say. Don't be afraid, you're not alone. The world is waiting to see you. How many times must we say I don't know? Let's not carry on this way. 'Cause I don't have too much to say. Well, opportunities pass you by. Don't be afraid to walk alone.
Thank you. You are listening to KSQD Santa Cruz 90.7, your new favorite Santa Cruz radio station. So, Wednesday, April 3rd, isn't today April 3rd?
Yeah,
It is,
yeah,
April
yeah.
3rd.
Yeah,
Today, tonight, 5 o'clock. This show's over at 4 o'clock. In an hour after, from 5 to 6 o'clock, Talk of the Bay features a conversation with Chris Fritz of Breakthrough Men's Community to explore what does it mean to be a male in the era of Me Too? Are men's roles changing? How are men adjusting to the changes? How are these changes reverberating through our culture? Tune in tonight, 5 o'clock, with host Len B.A. on Talk of the Bay. So look forward to that tonight at 5 o'clock, 5 to 6 o'clock on KSQD. So Liam, how how did you get into music? Like, were you always playing music as a kid?
Well, I grew up with a jukebox, like an old Wurlitzer jukebox.
Mm-hmm.
That
Really?
my dad got it at like a garage sale or something, and he fixed it up, and he had all the old 45s, ranging from like Dean Martin to Frank Sinatra,
Oh,
to,
wow.
of course the Beatles and stuff. And it was played endlessly. And I just think it's kind of
Like by you? Like were you,
Yeah.
as a young kid, you were like constantly putting in the new songs. You were putting the Dean Martin and the Frank Sinatra.
well, yeah, I would listen to all sorts of stuff because that's what I grew up with. But my musical influence is, kind of broad. But I started playing when I was about 13. After,
Were you self-taught?
yeah, I never had a lesson.
You just like went on YouTube or something, or just
Yeah,
started
YouTube
playing?
helps a lot. Yeah, especially when you're learning to play the guitar in the early stages.
Yeah.
But basically, my only sort of musical education growing up was like a Beatles chord songbook and an acoustic guitar, and I would just try to emulate them.
Are the Beatles an easier way, like start because they're kind of like simple chords?
Well, yeah, some of the songs were pretty easy, but if you're trying to play acoustic and stuff off of Sgt. Pepper,
That's
yeah, there's weird chords in there and stuff.
Well, they don't even play those songs.
Yeah.
They didn't play those live.
Yeah. A lot of the songs have, there's some early stuff that has very few chords, but a lot of it is quite difficult to sing because unfortunately I'm a baritone. I wish I was a tenor. But, I can sing a lot of the John stuff, and George stuff, but some of the Paul stuff is out of my range, but...
This is like a ridiculous question, but like, I mean, the Beatles are so amazing. I mean, like, they're like head and shoulders above most bands, I would say. What is so special about them? I mean, that is like, because it's just like, why have they transcended like time of like, I think if it was like 400 years, they're going to still be the band that everybody's still listening to.
I think it's the amount of music they put out in such a short period of time.
It is really short, huh?
I think
It was
that's
just like,
appealing.
yeah,
And you get such a variety from 1963 to 1969.
yeah.
You have all sorts of genres that they put out.
Was that it? From 63 to 69 was like their
That was
main-
basically, or 62, I think, was one of their first recording.
So like Let It Be album, was that the
Sessions.
last one? Is that when it was?
Yeah, I think, well, technically, Abbey Road was their last album.
Okay.
Like, Let It Be was released after Abbey Road,
Okay.
but it was recorded before.
And around what time was that?
I think that was like summer of 69, maybe.
That is crazy. I mean, that is like such a short period
Yeah.
of time.
And I think, probably to their benefit and the longevity of us still loving the Beatles is that they stopped then. They didn't have a chance to,
Yeah.
fade away, so to speak, as a band. And
Yeah.
so we still have this remarkable, half a decade of music that we can look back and say, hey, they were at this peak.
But they all still had they had four tentacles that went out there and
Right.
played their own music. And it
Yeah.
was still like, I mean, everyone in their own right was like pretty amazing. I mean, even Ringo was, some pretty amazing music.
Yeah, I would think that synergy of them together though is greater than the sum of the parts.
Yeah.
For that period of time.
I don't know. I'm debating if I should tell this story. I think I'm gonna do it because I
I
already
think we
started.
do. We got time. Let's do it.
Okay, so I can't believe I always said I wouldn't talk about this, but because I
Oh,
felt
God.
awful. But okay, so I had an event. Me and somebody else was planning in Santa Cruz. We wanted to have it at the Civic, and so we held the date, and they came back to us and said, "Hey, we have somebody that's touring, and they want to use the Civic," and we said, "Well." We want to keep it. That's our event that we're doing there. And so we held on to it, and then we had to cancel. Something happened. We had to cancel the event. So they reached back to the person that was, wanted it. And they're like, oh, we moved it to San Jose. And it was Ringo Starr.
Oh.
And so Ringo Starr would have been in Santa Cruz, but it was my fault.
Wow.
I didn't. So I can't believe I
That's
told
a
that
that's a
story.
burden to bear, man.
I know, but you know what? Though? Maybe I let it out right now. So maybe that's
like
good.
the universe is now like
Yeah.
it's fixed, so to speak. Yeah,
I
it's
can
out
breathe
there.
now. You know what? I think I need a song. Eric, let's play a song. What song do you have for us?
Oh man, how about let's do on that note. Let's do something old
Okay, sounds
and
good.
kind of bluesy. And this is kind of a fun one. And I actually wrote this with one of my first loves of my life,
Okay.
In Mind from Schenectady.
Nice.
And it's 7-bar blues, which might be the only one of the few songs in 7-bar blues, but it's called Elena.
Elena. Okay.
Yeah. Don't dry all your tears. I said, looking out the door, no, you don't need. Hey, Elena, you've done wrong. Pouring out some guilt in this broke down little song. Well, ain't looked down no crime and pets falling drunk. Righteous life, oh, you're living down in sin. Well, if you're gonna knock me, no, we're gonna live again. Oh, my darling Lena, water's crumbling down. The ghost that still haunts me in this dusty, lonely town. Well, them winds are blowing, we can't keep our feet on the ground. Slide your way. This time, baby, darling, gonna slip away. Just gotta hold on so tight till soul's turning gray. Well, Lena, it's 6 long days. Know by now, done to dry all your tears. I said, looking out the door, no, you're gonna reappear. I said, looking out the door, no, you're gonna reappear. Woo!
Thanks, Henry.
Thanks, Henry.
Thanks for popping in here. So, okay, we're like almost at the halfway point, and I think I want to get into the struggle.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about, like, as a musician, you write grants.
Mm-hmm.
But is that like the end all? Like, is that like, do you enjoy it? Or would you rather just be a musician for your whole life? That's like the end game.
That's an interesting question. I do enjoy writing, and I do enjoy supporting the work, the organizations that I work for. And I think it's really impactful work, and I like doing it. There is a slog to it, as you know, grant writing can be hard. Last week I pulled like a 60-hour week.
Oh my goodness.
Writing a federal grant, and so it's one of those things. So I love that, and I love the impact it has. Just the couple nonprofits I've worked for here in Santa Cruz in my 10 years here have been great.
So as a job, it's really rewarding.
It's very rewarding. It has different reward places in my heart and soul. So music has always been a place that has a much more powerful reward, just for the creativity and its potential impact, as well as a place of cohesiveness with people you get to play music with.
It's funny, I mentioned that just right before the show, I was talking to somebody that's working on a grant, and she said that when she first started to write grants, she would, her job was doing that, and then when she got home, she would play piano, and for the first year of this job, she wrote more music than she ever has because she needed that outlet, like that kind of creative outlet. So like they might work together.
I think they do, and I will echo that story because I've been writing grants and doing fundraising in that way, and I had never done it prior to about 6 or 7 years ago. And that's when I really started writing much more music, was around that time period. So I think there is some logic to that, some reason. But ultimately, I enjoy, playing with our crew, Whiskey West. We have a great time. I mean, we're all local folks and we all have families. So it's hard for us to do what it is that's needed to be done in music these days to
'Cause
make
you have-
money, which is touring.
Yeah.
That's one of the few ways you can actually make a living. There's no mailbox money anymore, really,
Yeah.
as Steve Earle famously called it. So that's how folks make a living doing it. They hit the road and they keep at it for a good chunk of the year, and so that's a hard thing to do. And if we could find other ways to support musicians in music, so that folks who were in these
Yeah.
positions of family and having children didn't have to hit the road, that they could still be in their communities. That's it's a great goal to keep on working for.
I think a lot of times even just as a community right now where you're here, so you can't tour, but as a community, we can help and support you. And a lot of times I think musicians, or people take for granted musicians, they're like, hey, can you just play this show in front of us, or this? And it's like, but that's like, you're taking away from my livelihood somewhat. Like, if, I still need to support myself. And I know, like, both of you, like, Liam.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, when you're a musician, you'll always have music, and I feel like that's a pretty comforting thing.
Yeah.
And it's I always remember one of my music teachers at Cabrillo once said that no matter what you do for a living, you'll always have music. And I kind of think,
That's true.
especially like I feel like nowadays, if you have a family and stuff, it's a little harder to be a touring musician, because you have to worry about supporting your family, obviously.
Yeah.
But
And it just seems like, I don't know, I've talked to a lot of musicians, I'm good friends with Jesse Daniel and the
Yeah.
Coffitz brothers, and, like Tyler McCoy and Taylor Ray, sorry, and we talk about something, it's like, how can you, there must be a way to figure this out, to break the code of, how do we, make money besides the traditional ways? Social media or something, I don't know.
it's kind of hard to make money nowadays with albums, because a lot of people don't buy records anymore.
Yeah.
So
It's just streaming, and you make
Yeah.
cents of
Yeah,
half
you
a
you make
cent.
nothing.
Yeah.
So touring is
Is-
obviously the way to make money.
Yeah.
And even busking too, street performing.
No, you and
If
Ryan
you're-
do that
if you're
really
good,
well.
Yeah, if you're good, you can make some money at it.
No.
So
And it's something I've
Yeah.
been, as someone who's been working in the
Yeah.
nonprofit sector for years, and now in fundraising, it's something that has been on my mind, is how do we create a better system? There has been times when musicians have been able to make halfway decent living, and we look back at it's part of our own economic issues that we have as a country right now, with relatively stagnant wages, low union membership. But you look at back in the day, there's musicians unions that were really powerful. They're still present today. There's a Santa Cruz Musicians Union. I don't know anything about
really?
it, but it's based out of San Francisco, multi-county.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then certainly in this town, there's so much overhead for bars and venues that they only have an X type of margin that they can pay musicians. So it's an interesting paradigm that we're in right now. But I do feel like we also live in a place with immense creativity, and there's a lot of people thinking about lots of things and solutions and impacts to problems. And so I find it a really fascinating thing, as someone who, both Liam and I, want to be able to probably, pay our bills.
Cruz is flooded with great songwriters,
Yeah.
great musicians, and there's never a boring moment.
Yeah, we should be finding ways to help people not struggle as much as
I feel like
musicians.
we need to come up with our own guild.
Right,
Somehow.
I
Yeah.
know.
We work the brainstorming sessions every week or something. Yeah. You mentioned nonprofits. It was sometimes like being a musician is like being in a nonprofit.
Mhm. Yeah, there's an interesting, example. There is a nonprofit, as many people know, you can get fiscally sponsored by a nonprofit, and then you can run your sort of mini nonprofit out of that, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And there is one, I believe, out of Florida, that actually is for musicians. So if you come up with a project that kind of fits under the nonprofit purview, which is education or something along advocacy, something along those lines, you can fundraise as a nonprofit would, as a musical act or a musician. So you can ultimately get tax-free donations. So it gives people an incentive to get involved with you. So there's creative ideas out there like that.
I think I just figured it out. I think just we get together a bunch of local Santa Cruz musicians, and Eric just does grant writing for all of them all day long until we get some money.
Done.
Done.
Consider it done. Easy
Okay,
peasy.
good. You have enough time.
I got plenty of time.
Yeah. Okay, I think we should hear a song. Is it Liam's turn?
Yes.
think
Yeah,
so.
yes, Liam. Okay, what are we gonna hear, Liam? Come up with something.
I can do.
Write a song on the
Yeah,
spot.
yeah, right. Yeah, can you guys play a song together? No, no.
I could do an original again, I guess.
Original. Okay, what do you want? Tell us a little bit about it before you play.
Well, I wrote it about 2 years ago, late at night, 4:30 in the morning,
It's the best writing
Most
time.
songs are-
and just running on caffeine, coffee. Couldn't sleep, so I wrote a song. And I guess this is what it turned out to be. And, it's called "She Said to Me." It's kind of weird just calling them original songs. I mean, it's just a song.
It's just a
I mean, it's
song,
not.
yeah.
It's not like a Picasso painting. You know, that's an original.
So you're-
This is just something that, you know.
But it's your artwork. No,
Yeah, you know.
it's an original.
It's an original.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Walking down the street on a foggy night, nothing but the brightness of the street lights, thoughts running through my mind. Don't pay attention, I've got fears to hide. Heart racing, thoughts are pacing through my worried mind. Deal with it now or later. Haunt me in my dreams, she said to me. She said to me. I ain't running no more. I can't find the lead. When surreal dreams don't wake at me, it'll all repeat. Heart racing, thoughts are pacing through my worried mind. We'll deal with it now or later, or haunt me in my dreams, she said to me. She said to me. I know you'll find me here, contemplating all my fears. Soon I will start to see clear, but for now, just don't come near. She said to me.
Thank you, Liam Gillespie. What was the name of that song again?
She said to me.
She said, that is beautiful, that song. Okay, I don't forget, because sometimes I get on a tangent, I'll forget about something. Actually, two things. First of all, I should say that the views and opinions expressed in this program do not necessarily represent those of Natural Bridges Media or KSQD staff, volunteers, or underwriters, so excuse what I say sometimes. Liam, can we talk about your Instagram account for the, was it John Lennon or for the Beatles?
Oh, this is the Beatles page.
Beatles.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I started it, I think back in 2014, just out of boredom.
Which like Instagram just started.
Yeah, I started an Instagram page completely dedicated to the Beatles, and I just started posting like every day. And, I was turning it more into like a history page rather than a fan page because I talk about dates and locations and
Oh, wow.
according to the photo or the video that I post. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's grown to like 115K.
That's
Whoa.
You know, it's like
That's cool.
out of nowhere. So I think that's kind of a cool thing.
What is the name of the Instagram?
It's called the Daily Beatles.
The Daily Beatles, like all one word.
Yeah.
The Daily Beatles.
Yeah, there's some big names following it. Brian May,
Whoa.
the lead guitarist from Queen follows
Yeah.
it. Verified.
Guy with the
Yeah,
hair.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some other notable people like Judd Apatow, one of my favorite
That is
movie
crazy.
directors. Yeah, just all these Harry Styles from One Direction follows it. All these like super famous people seem to dig it. So
That is okay. So
Yeah.
we're talking about supporting it. Like, how do you monetize that?
I don't know. I just do it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to ever like? I mean, like,
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
to eventually make maybe some money off of it. It'd be cool if Apple came to me, the Beatles, Apple.
Oh,
Corps.
yeah.
Like, hey, would you mind promoting a
something-
Beatles product or something on your page? Well,
Exactly.
I don't know.
They all talk like John Lennon.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. What a great
Yeah, it's kind of a
great thing.
yeah.
That's why I feel sometimes like,
It's
we
interesting.
complain about social media in a lot of ways, but there's some really, I mean, I know for me personally, like, I love seeing my friends from Los Angeles, like, their kids grow up and it's like that. Like, there is some really cool things. Instagram too. That's like, if I'm gonna do anything, it's gonna be Instagram. Eric, you're on Instagram and Facebook, aren't you?
Yeah, I am
Yeah.
reluctantly, and
That's why you're on the show today. is
yeah,
because you reached
exactly.
out to
I
us.
know it. So you take the good with the bad, and
Yeah.
and certainly. I forget the name of the gentleman that was just in town, and he was the author of the book 10 Reasons to Delete All Your Social Media
Oh, really?
now or immediately, something like that was the name of his
It's
latest
like a
book.
love-hate relationship.
Yeah, and I think he works for Microsoft or something. So not a Luddite, but a fan of technology and what it can do, but also dubious of
Yeah.
the role of social media in our lives. And I get it. It can
It's a
be
good tool.
addictive. It can
Yeah.
it can cause some real mental anguish, but it's also a tool that a lot of folks have come to rely on.
Especially as a musician.
And as a musician, yeah, that's where we do most of our promoting for any shows or anything these days. So it's there's some devils in it, but there's also some angels.
I don't post very often on my personal account
Yeah.
for some reason. I just don't feel the need to. I usually use the story
Okay.
feature.
I noticed that,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what the kids are doing nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
like
I know.
old and I'm stuck in like, I can't do stories as much, but I should do
I
it.
know. That's where I'm at now.
I'm
You
not
hit
that
40, and
interesting.
it's
Come
like,
on.
oh man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. 40's the number.
Yeah.
45, and it's really in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Narcissistic gram.
So, I'm the same way with Instagram. That, Instagram, like for my personal one, yeah, I post pictures of my kids. I mean, that's what, but like most in general, I'm not posting what I ate for breakfast or something. But yeah, but for work-wise, promote local, musicians, local entrepreneurs, writers, photographers, anything that I usually do, promoting people in town. I think it's a great way to do it. And yeah, I can get rid of Facebook in an instant if I would like to, but for work-wise, I'm just kind of stuck with it.
Yeah, I think that's how I found out about most of the event Santa Cruz stuff is
Yeah.
through social media.
Yeah.
And that's just the way,
That's why I'm scared. What if social media goes away?
right?
How do I get the word out? Posters? I mean, like, I don't know.
There's pros and cons
Yeah.
to social media. And unfortunately, I mean, a lot of people sort of seem to be super obsessed with it, and it completely controls their lives.
Yeah.
But, it's like with anything, it's like alcohol, drugs.
Yeah, no, it
Anything.
does. No, but me and my wife
It's
are
that
always
dopamine rush that people go.
exactly waiting
Yeah.
for it to see like okay,
Yeah.
who actually did. So what I'm gonna do, since I'm old school here, okay, so I'm gonna get my phone ready. Eric, let's play a song,
Okay.
and I'm gonna do an Instagram live of this song. So double pressure here.
This is super. Yeah, this is intense.
Yeah.
Is it me or is it super warm in here?
It is warm because we have a lot of people in here, but you'll be out of here in 10 minutes.
It's all good. I was
Yeah.
just curious.
Okay, so Eric, what song are you thinking of playing?
All right, I'm gonna play the song. This song is called "Wicked Heart," and it's written sort of in the vein of the murder ballads of the past. It's an American kind of a traditional song, which is really as it says, it's about murder. So this one is in that vein, but it's more murder yet to happen.
Okay, sounds good.
It's called "Wicked Heart," and it goes something like this.
Eric.
You're never gonna wake up well next to him, feeling that naked body to Memphis. If you're gonna walk, don't you know I'm gonna run? 'Cause I got me a pretty new woman and a brand new pair of shoes. And for your wicked heart, girl, I got you a gun. It ain't too hard to hide that scene, but you just stood there showing off a dirty ring. A foolish heart, well I dove too deep, and every word you whispered was lined with deceit. Ain't no pleading gonna make a case. Your sins look so darn perfect in the lines on your face. The way your hair dripped down your breast ain't gonna stop this penance burning my chest. Well, honey, won't you tell me when you're headed to Memphis? If you're gonna walk, don't you know I'm gonna run? 'Cause I got me a pretty new woman and a brand new pair of shoes. And for your wicked heart, girl, I got you a gun. Well, for 3 years you rode this train, wind pushing back your hair and cursing you out. But you slid off this ride right into his arms. But I ain't gonna let another man, girl, die from your charm. Honey, won't you tell me when you're headed to Memphis? If you're gonna walk, don't you know I'm gonna run? 'Cause I got me a pretty new woman and a brand new pair of shoes. And for your wicked heart, girl, I got you a gun. 'Cause I got you a pretty new woman and a brand new pair of shoes. And for your wicked heart, girl, I got you a gun.
Yeah.
Nice. You were listening to KSQD Santa Cruz. That was Eric Winters. Oh no, not Winters. Winters. Sorry. And what was the name of that song?
This song's called Wicked Heart.
Wicked Heart. Okay. Goodbye to Instagram,
See you, Instagram.
Live, everybody.
Later Instagram.
And live, share. Okay, it's
Wow.
there. Okay.
That was some
Meta.
yeah, that blew my
Meta
mind
stuff.
right there, yeah. I don't know how to handle
I like
that.
the juxtaposition between the two of us, like as songwriters. You got like country and western vibes, and then you have like more sadder vibes, I guess.
I don't know. I don't picture sad,
But
but
that was great. It sounded like a Towns Van Sant song.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to have
Awesome.
the mix in here. It's cool.
Yeah.
But isn't that cool about like just in general Santa Cruz? That like I feel like I work with a group of musicians that I mentioned, and everybody has their own little thing, and like I don't know, but we work together so well.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's like a Santa Cruz thing or just in general.
You know, it's interesting. There's a couple of folks you mentioned that we had a little songwriter circle together for
Okay.
a little bit with Taylor and
Yeah.
Moshe Velozny.
Oh yeah, he's
and,
gonna be on like in a couple weeks.
Oh great, and DJ Hignan, who's another.
Oh, that was at Moe's Alley, right?
Yeah,
I
we
remember that night.
Well, before that, about maybe 6 months before that, we started a sort of a monthly little songwriting group, and everyone would share a song and whatnot. And Patrick McGuire came for a little bit.
Oh,
And he's playing tonight actually at Moe's.
Oh, cool.
But it was so interesting how different everyone's styles were, and that was just very completely just total just nothing was the same, and that was what was really fascinating. And I love that about Santa Cruz, is that there's just so much diversity And then some people you may tune in and be like, oh, it kind of all sounds the same, or it sounds like this. But if you start like really looking in, there's a lot of really interesting stuff people are doing.
Well, I mean, I think after, like I said, after we actually give it a chance, like, we listen to Top 40 or whatever, or listen to the radio, but when you actually listen to the songs and, give them a chance, like for local musicians, like some of my favorite music now is from local musicians. And like, we just have to, like I said, give it a chance. And Taylor Ray and Jesse and everybody, they're actually doing a show on May the 3rd. Jesse Daniel has a Kickstarter that he's trying to make, help with his new album. So it's May 3rd at Humble Sea Brewery. So that's going to be a cool show. But it's like the same thing. It's like you got like 8 different people from complete different genres coming together to make like a cool little night.
Yeah, that's gonna be. Unfortunately, I can't attend that night. We're playing at Michael's on Main with the Crooked Branches.
Nice.
And so I won't be able to make it that night, but it'll be. I'll get to hear about it and see it on Instagram. I'm sure.
You definitely will. Okay, so let's talk about that. Like, what's up and coming for you guys? Like, are you doing shows? Eric, first, are you doing like shows like continually? Like, I know you said you can't do as many, but you're at Michael's on Main on the 3rd.
We're at Michael's on Main on the 3rd. We try to play twice a month maybe,
okay.
And then I'll do some other stuff myself around, depending with some different folks. And we're doing the Santa Cruz or the Felton Makers Market on the 28th.
Cool.
And then we've got a show in next week actually at the Santa Cruz Mountain Brewery, April 12th.
So where do you play at the Santa Cruz Mountain Brewery? Where do bands actually play?
You know the garage door where they do a lot of brewing?
Yeah.
We play just inside of that.
Oh, cool.
I think it's a permit thing too, if I remember
you have to
correctly.
be
So you have to
inside.
be inside. So we're definitely a garage. Everybody who plays there is a garage band. At least for a night.
That's literally a garage.
musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice little
I
setting.
can't believe I haven't been there yet. You always have a great music. They have a Priya 831. It's like making food there that night. So yeah, it's my favorite food of all time. I always say it wrong, but it's like these Priyas. I forgot what they're called, but they're just super cool vegetarian things.
She's been there a couple times, and I love it. Yeah.
What about you, Liam? It's like, do you have anything like coming up? Anything that we should know
I
about?
think April 19th, Paradox.
April 19th, the Paradox. Okay. And it's around town.
There might be one more date this month, but can't think of it off the top of my head. And then I'm sure, all throughout summer I'll be playing
Cool.
places, but nothing's set.
So is there like a website that people should go to, like, so we know more about what you're doing?
It's my Instagram, I post
And what's your Instagram?
dates and stuff on the story. It's just Liam J. Gillespie.
Liam J. Gillespie.
Yeah.
Okay, on Instagram. And what about you, Eric?
Well, we have our website, whiskeyWestmusic.com, and Instagram and Facebook are all the same, Whiskey West Music.
It's all your dates and stuff.
All the dates are up there, yeah.
Find all your cool like past music and go to like your YouTube page.
I think we got the links to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think on Event Santa Cruz, on our Event Santa Cruz YouTube page, which everybody should check out. There's we have both of you at different times. I think there was a block party.
Oh, that's right. We did that block party
last summer.
Our shortened staff there, but that was super fun. Someone just actually mentioned it because Jesse played with us, and my friend Jeremy Lampel was playing mandolin, so that was a fun night. Yeah,
that was really cool. And then I think Liam, we have got you and Brian a couple times.
Yeah.
I don't know when I post. Wait, I remember that time that Adam Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you were like busking.
Yeah, we were busking at Adam Scott from Parks and Rec. It's a big.
Oh, really?
A big holiday back. He was in the Aviator with DiCaprio and everything.
Yeah.
But he just happened to be walking by and we said Adam Scott, and he stopped and listened to us play, and he requested I think Here Comes the Sun.
Okay.
Yeah, and he tipped us.
Did he tip? That was a question.
Yeah, he
tip
tipped. Yeah, he was really nice, and
that's cool.
That is super.
It's funny because we both went to Harbor High.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
he's just a little bit older than
yeah.
you, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He graduated.
He said, "Oh yeah, of course."
He's like in his 40s.
Yeah, old
Oh,
guy.
God.
I'm only 24.
Yeah,
Come
come
on.
on. 15
Nice.
years difference.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for
thank you, Matthew.
No,
for
for-
having
yeah,
us.
come
Thanks for
here.
having us on.
Yeah, check in a couple days, and again, at our YouTube page, if you want to see the replay of the songs that they played. But I think we should do one more song. Do you have like a short, 3-minute song, Liam?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We could do a.
We didn't do a cover yet, did we?
Yeah, I'll do a cover. As well. Up top. Oh, it's right.
Okay, so
And
let me-
the,
Oh shit. Blends in with my keyboard.
Which one's this?
This is one of my favorite John Lennon tunes called Jealous Guy. So let's go do it.
So.